The night sky over the Nevada desert burned with unnatural colors. A streak of light, brighter than 1,000 shooting stars, tore across the heavens, leaving trails of green and violet fire in its wake. Villagers miles away watched in awe and fear, but none could imagine the scale of what was hurtling toward Earth. High above the planet, Captain Ryland Cale leaned over the observation deck of his research station, eyes fixed on the phenomenon. A veteran explorer, Ryland had spent most of his life chasing rumors of alien life, ancient signals, strange anomalies, and fleeting reports of unidentifiable objects in the solar system. Yet nothing in his experience could have prepared him for this. The object plummeted faster than any known meteor, leaving a vacuum of light and heat behind it. Then, with a deafening roar that shook the desert sands, it crashed. The impact sent tremors through the earth, creating a massive crater that glowed faintly as alien metal smoldered beneath a cloud of dust and smoke. Ryland's team had arrived within hours. The military had cordoned off the area, but their cautious protocols felt useless next to the sheer magnitude of the craft. The vessel wasn't small, it was colossal, nearly half a kilometer in length, with jagged edges that suggested it had sustained a violent entry into the atmosphere. Its hull was marred with burns and scars, yet faint ethereal lights flickered along its surface as if the ship itself were still alive. Stepping closer, Ryland's boots sank slightly into the soft sand, crunching against shards of alien alloy scattered around the crater. The air smelled metallic and electric, tinged with something unrecognizable. The ship's surface was smooth yet strange, with subtle curves that defied any human engineering logic. It was both terrifying and mesmerizing, like staring at a creature rather than a machine. "Captain," called Dr. Lyra Vance, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and excitement. Lyra was humanity's foremost expert in Xenotech, a prodigy who had deciphered alien scripts thought to be indecipherable. "You need to see this. The ship, it's active." Ryland's eyes narrowed. "Active? How is that possible?" "It's been through atmospheric re-entry." Lyra gestured toward the ship's hull, where thin streams of light traced along the metallic surface in patterns that seemed almost organic. "It's not responding to us yet, but it's alive, Captain. Not in the way we are, but it's aware. It's waiting." For a moment, Ryland felt a chill. He had dreamed of first contact with alien life, but this was not a friendly greeting, it was an enigma, something vast and unknowable. Yet humanity's curiosity outweighed fear. The military was hesitant to approach, but Ryland's team moved forward, carefully climbing the jagged steps of metal debris that formed a rough path to the ship's main hatch. The hatch itself was unlike any door humans had built. Smooth, seamless, and pulsating faintly, it seemed to read their presence. When Ryland reached out to touch it, the surface rippled under his hand, responding to the contact. "Did it just open?" asked Kalen Rios, the youngest member of the team and a gifted pilot. His voice carried awe that no training could suppress. The hatch slid inward smoothly, revealing darkness beyond. But within that darkness, faint lights began to pulse rhythmically, casting shadows that danced across the jagged interior. As they stepped inside, the alien architecture became clearer. The walls were lined with strange conduits that glimmered with energy. The floor beneath their feet hummed softly, as if it were resonating with their presence. The air smelled faintly of ozone, tinged with a scent Ryland couldn't name, part metallic, part organic. The deeper they moved, the more intricate the design became. Symbols etched into the walls shifted subtly, patterns rearranging themselves as though alive. Lyra's fingers traced one sequence and her eyes widened. These symbols, they're not just decoration. They're instructions. Or maybe communication. Communication with who? Ryland muttered, scanning the endless corridors that twisted like a labyrinth. The ship was enormous, far bigger on the inside than its exterior suggested. It was a dimension of corridors, chambers, and machinery beyond comprehension. Then they reached the central chamber. And there it was, the heart of the ship. A vast core of light and energy, suspended in midair, surrounded by floating panels that rotated with purpose. The core pulsed in a slow, deliberate rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. Lyra whispered, "It's alive, in a way we can barely understand. And it's waiting for us." Suddenly, the lights in the chamber brightened. Holographic projections flickered to life, displaying star maps, planetary systems, and unfamiliar constellations. It was not a mere ship, it was a library, a vessel of knowledge, a gateway to the stars. Ryland felt a surge of exhilaration. Humanity had found something unimaginable, a ship not merely of transport but of destiny. This was technology centuries ahead, perhaps millennia. If humans could master it, they could reach the stars. But with awe came fear. Lyra's voice trembled as she added, "Whatever race built this, they're gone. Or maybe they're watching." The words hung in the air like a warning. The team stood silently, absorbing the enormity of what they had discovered. Humanity's journey was about to change forever. The crashed alien ship was not just a relic, it was an opportunity, a challenge, and perhaps a test. As the sun rose over the Nevada desert, its light caught the edges of the alien hull, making it gleam like a jewel among the sands. Rylan Cale turned to his team, determination in his eyes. "This is it," he said. "The moment humanity stops looking at the stars and starts reaching for them." And with that, the first chapter of humanity's journey among the stars had begun. Weeks passed since the alien ship crash-landed in the Nevada desert. The world watched in awe as governments, scientists, and engineers flocked to the site, each hoping to claim a piece of the technological marvel. But Rylan Cale's team had a different goal. They weren't just here to study the wreck. They were here to understand it, to awaken the ship's true potential, and to forge humanity's path among the stars. The first challenge was sheer scale. The ship was a labyrinth of alien metal, far beyond any human architectural logic. Corridors twisted at impossible angles, and machinery hummed with energy that defied comprehension. Sensors designed for human technology frequently overloaded or malfunctioned when pointed at the ship. "Nothing we know can touch this," muttered engineer Varric Soren, an expert in advanced propulsion systems. His normally confident tone carried frustration. "It's like trying to read a book written in a language that doesn't exist." Yet, amidst the confusion, hope emerged in the form of Dr. Lyra Vance. Lyra had spent years studying theoretical xenotech, the kind of technology no one believed humans could ever understand. Standing in the ship's central chamber, she studied the glowing core, her eyes reflecting its pulsing light. "This isn't just a vessel," she said softly. "It's a living system. We don't just need to fix it, we need to speak its language." Her words sparked a plan. Rather than dismantle the ship for parts, as the military preferred, Lyra proposed an audacious idea: reverse engineer it from the inside out. To understand the ship, they would have to interface with it directly, integrate their own knowledge into its systems, and slowly earn its trust. The team divided into specialized groups. Some focused on structural analysis, mapping the interior in painstaking detail. Others, led by Lyra, attempted to interact with the alien core. At first, the ship resisted. Panels shifted unpredictably, holographic symbols changed in response to human touch, and energy flows diverted whenever they attempted a direct connection. But humans have a unique gift: adaptability. Where the aliens had failed, humans began to improvise. Kalen Rios, the youngest and most daring pilot, volunteered for the first direct test of the ship's interface. Using a prototype Neuralink helmet developed by Lyra's team, Kalen attempted to synchronize his mind with the vessel. The first attempt was catastrophic. The helmet's neural feedback sent Kalen sprawling, his mind bombarded with alien thoughts and flashing images of stars, planets, and unknown civilizations. The team feared he might never recover. But Kalen refused to give up. With each attempt, he learned to anticipate the ship's rhythms, to interpret its signals, to become a partner rather than a passenger. Slowly the alien vessel responded. Panels shifted to reveal schematics, energy conduits aligned to human understanding, and the core pulsed in rhythm with Kalen's neural link. "Captain," Lyra whispered one morning, her voice trembling with excitement, "we've done it. The ship, it recognizes us." Recognition was only the beginning. The next step was understanding its systems. Lyra discovered that the ship's propulsion used energy fields that manipulated gravity itself. Its weapons were not just physical but harnessed the fabric of spacetime. And the ship's AI, though alien, seemed to possess a sense of curiosity, reacting to human creativity, problem-solving, and even humor. "It's teaching us," Lyra said one evening, exhausted but exhilarated. The aliens left more than technology, they left a system that grows with its operator. If we can master this, we don't just fly, we think with the ship. The work wasn't without danger. In one instance, a miscalculated energy surge sent panels and consoles spinning through the central chamber, narrowly missing Varric. Another time, a Neuralink session overloaded Kalen's mind, leaving him unresponsive for several hours. But with each failure came a lesson. Humans could learn, adapt, and overcome where others might have failed. As months turned into a year, the results were astounding. The alien ship, once a silent wreck, now responded to human commands. Kalen could pilot sections of it manually, while Lyra interfaced with its AI to unlock new capabilities. Varric's team had managed to stabilize energy conduits, allowing the ship to power auxiliary systems without risk of overload. Perhaps most incredible was the ship itself. It began to anticipate human needs, providing guidance and suggestions. Navigation holograms highlighted potential hazards, repair systems recommended maintenance before failures occurred, and even a rudimentary communication interface began to translate alien symbols into patterns humans could comprehend. Humanity had done the impossible. They had taken a crashed alien ship, a machine designed by a civilization far superior in knowledge and experience, and made it their own. Rylan Kale stood on the observation platform one evening, watching the desert sun set over the ship's hull. It gleamed like a jewel, reflecting humanity's ingenuity and persistence. He turned to Lyra and Kalen, who were reviewing the day's progress. "This isn't just engineering," Rylan said, voice steady with pride. "We're proving something bigger. We're showing the universe what humanity is capable of: adaptation, creativity, and the courage to face the unknown." Kalen grinned, a spark of defiance in his eyes. "And to think some people doubted we could even touch it." Lyra laughed softly. "We didn't just touch it. We awakened it. And now, it's waiting for us to take the next step." That next step was clear. The alien ship was ready to fly. But flying it was more than a mechanical challenge. It required humanity to prove itself worthy. The vessel had survived centuries of interstellar drift, endured a catastrophic crash, and yet it waited as if testing its new operators. And humanity, as always, was ready to meet the challenge. For the first time, humans were not merely explorers. They were partners in alien technology, bridging the gap between species and unlocking a future that had once seemed impossible. The journey to the stars had begun not with conquest, but with curiosity, ingenuity, and relentless determination. Above the Nevada desert, the night sky shimmered. The crashed ship sat silently, humming with energy, waiting for the day it would rise again, powered not by alien hands but by human will. And that day, Rylan Kale knew, would change the universe forever. The day had come. After months of reverse engineering, testing, and countless close calls, the alien ship was finally ready to leave the Nevada desert behind. Its hull gleamed under the sun, polished and reinforced with human ingenuity, yet still retaining the mysterious beauty of its alien design. For the first time, the massive vessel looked less like a crashed relic and more like a living starship, ready to soar. Captain Rylan Kale surveyed his team. They had grown into a family of sorts, bound together by shared risks and triumphs. At the center of it all stood Dr. Lyra Vance, the mind who had unlocked the ship's secrets, and Kalen Rios, the young pilot who had learned to synchronize his mind with the alien AI. "This is it," Rylan said, his voice steady but filled with awe. "We take the first step beyond Earth. Let's show the universe what humans are capable of." Kalen climbed into the pilot's chair, Neuralink helmet secured over his head. His heartbeat raced, not with fear but with exhilaration. He had trained for this moment mentally, physically, and emotionally, yet the reality of controlling a ship built by a civilization far older and wiser than humanity sent a shiver down his spine. The ship's AI, now partially integrated with human systems, flickered to life. Lights along the control panels pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. Holographic displays projected star maps and interstellar coordinates, highlighting objects and systems unknown to humanity. "Do you feel that?" Kalen whispered, more to himself than anyone else. The ship seemed to respond to his thoughts, sensors adjusting automatically, aligning pathways for energy and propulsion. Lyra monitored the neural link from the auxiliary console. "It's responding to you, Kalen. Not just following commands, it's anticipating them." The first test was cautious. The ship lifted slowly from the desert, hovering above the sand like a massive living being. A ripple of energy coursed through its hull, reacting to Kalen's focus. The team watched, breath held, as humanity's first alien vessel rose higher and higher. Then came the first challenge. A sudden gust of wind, amplified by the desert terrain, pushed the ship off balance. Panels shifted, and for a moment, it seemed the alien vessel might reject human control. Kalen's mind raced. Instinct and training collided with the alien logic of the ship. "Focus on its rhythm," Lyra instructed. "Don't fight it, move with it." Kalen closed his eyes, breathing deeply. The ship's AI pulsed in response, guiding his thoughts as much as he guided its movements. Slowly, the alien craft righted itself, hovering steadily above the desert with effortless grace. Rylan allowed himself a small smile. "It's learning us, and we're learning it." The next stage was forward motion. The ship's propulsion system was unlike anything humans had seen. It didn't rely on conventional engines. Instead, it manipulated gravity fields, bending space around the vessel. When Kalen activated the forward thrust, the ship seemed to dissolve into a ripple of energy, then solidify meters ahead. It moved not like a plane or a rocket, but like a living creature gliding through the cosmos. For the team on the ground, the sensation was both terrifying and beautiful. The ship's shadow danced across the desert, accompanied by streaks of alien light, as though the stars themselves were reflected on Earth. "Humanity has never flown like this," Lyra murmured. "We're not just piloting a ship, we're merging with it." Hours passed as Kalen tested maneuvers, each one more daring than the last. The ship responded with elegance, accelerating faster than any human-made craft, turning and twisting as if defying gravity itself. Holographic displays projected star maps further and further into space, hinting at the galaxy waiting beyond Earth's atmosphere. Then came the revelation. The ship projected a series of holographic images, planets, nebulae, and alien systems. It highlighted potential resources, hazards, and even intelligent species. It was as if the AI wanted to show humanity not just how to fly but where to go and why. Rylan studied the projections, realization dawning. This ship, it's more than transportation. It's a guide, a mentor. Whoever built it wanted someone to continue its mission. The team understood the implications. This wasn't just a victory for technology, it was a testament to human adaptability. Aliens had abandoned this vessel, but humanity had tamed it, turned it from a crashed relic into a bridge to the stars. Night fell over the desert, and the ship hovered silently, bathed in moonlight. Kalen's first flight tests were complete. The vessel's hull pulsed gently, almost like it was breathing. It had accepted its new operators. But amid triumph came a sobering thought. The galaxy was vast and unpredictable. The ship's AI had shown glimpses of distant civilizations, some of them hostile. Humanity had achieved the impossible by mastering the alien technology, but survival among the stars would demand more than ingenuity. It would demand courage, unity, and the relentless drive that had brought humans to this moment. Rylan turned to his team, pride evident in his gaze. "This is only the beginning. Today we proved we can control the ship. Tomorrow, we learn what it means to truly journey among the stars." Kalen removed his Neuralink helmet, a wide grin spreading across his face. "I've never felt anything like this. It's alive. And it's listening. We're ready." Lyra placed a hand on the control panel, whispering almost reverently, "The stars have been waiting for us, Kalen. Humanity's time has come." For the first time in history, humans had not just looked at the stars, they had touched them. And as the alien vessel rested under the desert sky, its core glowing softly, everyone knew that Earth's journey into the galaxy was no longer a dream, it was inevitable. The first flight was a success, but it was also a test. The alien ship had been salvaged, studied, and awakened. Humanity had proven its ingenuity, its adaptability, and its determination. The next challenge lay beyond Earth's atmosphere, the stars themselves. And humanity was ready. The first flight had been a success, but Rylan Kale knew that mastering the alien vessel would take far more than a single triumph. The ship was alive, yes, but it had its own intelligence, a consciousness shaped by a civilization far older and wiser than humanity. It did not merely respond to commands, it demanded harmony. And humans, with all their ingenuity, were notoriously disorganized. The next stage of testing began in a vast hangar converted into a command center. Scientists, engineers, and pilots gathered around holographic displays, reviewing every maneuver from the first flight. The alien ship hovered silently in the center, its core pulsing like a heart. The air was thick with anticipation and tension. "The ship isn't just a machine," Lyra explained. "It reacts to our thoughts, emotions, and actions. If we want to unlock its full potential, we need to operate as one. Our minds, our decisions, our instincts, they must align with each other and with the ship." Rylan nodded, eyes scanning his team. "We've proven we can pilot it individually. Now we must synchronize. This is more than flying, it's a test of humanity's unity." Kalen Rios leaned back in his chair, smirking. "Unity, huh? Sounds like group therapy with starship controls." Lyra smiled faintly, though her eyes betrayed the seriousness of the task. "It's no joke, Kalen. The ship is sophisticated. If we argue, hesitate, or act recklessly, it won't just resist, it could shut down or worse." The first synchronization trial began. The ship's core projected a complex holographic simulation of an alien star system. 3 crew members, Kalen, Varric Soren, and Lyra, were linked to the ship's AI through neural interfaces, their thoughts guiding its movements. The task seemed simple: navigate through a cluster of gravitational anomalies without triggering the ship's defensive protocols. From the start, chaos erupted. Kalen instinctively pushed the ship forward, focusing on speed. Varric attempted to compensate by adjusting the ship's energy shields, but his calculations conflicted with Kalen's intuition. Lyra, trying to mediate, found her mind overwhelmed by both human impulses and alien signals. The ship shuddered violently, nearly tipping the simulation into failure. Ryland slammed a fist onto the console. Stop thinking as individuals. Think as one. The team froze, taking a collective breath. Slowly, Kalen relaxed his urgency, letting the ship guide him. Varric adjusted energy flow in rhythm with the vessel's pulses rather than his own calculations. Lyra aligned her mind to interpret both the ship's intent and the team's actions simultaneously. Something incredible happened. The ship responded like a living organism, its core glowing brighter as if approving their harmony. Maneuvers that had seemed impossible moments before became effortless. The holographic simulation flowed like water, guiding the humans through the gravitational hazards with grace. When the trial ended, the core dimmed to its normal pulse. Silence filled the hangar for a moment before Ryland broke it with a grin. We did it. The ship, it's listening to us as a team. We're learning its rhythm. Yet the victory came with a warning. Lyra's face was pale, her voice subdued. This was just a simulation. Real-world conditions will be far more unpredictable. We must remain synchronized, or risk disaster. Over the next weeks, the team underwent intensive exercises. They learned to anticipate each other's decisions, communicate without words, and trust instincts. Every crew member had a role: navigation, energy management, defense, and problem-solving, but all roles were interconnected. Arguments, hesitation, or mistrust caused the ship to resist. Unity wasn't optional, it was survival. The true test came unexpectedly. During a high-altitude trial, the ship's sensors detected an unknown object approaching Earth. It was not hostile, yet. But the vessel reacted defensively, energy surging through the hull, lights flashing, and gravity fields shifting unpredictably. Ryland barked commands, but the ship ignored them. Kalen attempted manual control, but the alien AI overrode him, redirecting energy to shields. Varric tried to calculate evasive maneuvers, but the ship shifted them as though they were inadequate. Panic began to rise in the crew. Lyra, eyes wide, realized the truth. It's testing our unity under pressure. This isn't a threat, it's a challenge. We have to work together perfectly or we fail. Ryland took a deep breath. Focus on each other. Trust the ship, and trust each other. Remember what we learned. The team synchronized. Kalen slowed his instinctive push forward, Varric allowed the ship to guide the shields, and Lyra aligned their neural inputs with the vessel. Slowly, the object's approach became manageable. The ship adjusted smoothly, avoiding collision. When the simulation ended, Ryland exhaled. That was close. Kalen laughed shakily. Close doesn't even begin to cover it. But the trial had a profound effect. The team understood something vital. The alien vessel did not just respond to commands, it evaluated humanity itself. Their cooperation, creativity, and trust weren't just for operational efficiency, they were a measure of human worth. In the following days, the crew continued to push the ship's limits. They navigated through artificial storms, simulated asteroid fields, and energy anomalies, each test forcing them closer together. Slowly, the alien AI began to respond more fluidly, anticipating human decisions and even suggesting improvements. One evening, as the team rested, Lyra reflected aloud, "The ship, it's teaching us what it means to be human. Not just our skill, but our ingenuity, resilience, and unity. If we can master this, we won't just explore the stars, we'll survive and thrive among them." Ryland placed a hand on her shoulder. "We've come a long way. From a crashed alien wreck to a ship that trusts humans. I think we're ready for the next stage. The real journey begins soon." Kalen, ever impulsive, grinned. "Next stage? You mean leaving Earth's orbit?" Ryland nodded. "Exactly. But remember, our strength isn't just in technology. It's in us together. Humanity's unity is what makes us worthy of this ship, and eventually the stars." As the sun set over the Nevada desert, the alien vessel pulsed softly in the fading light. It was no longer merely a machine. It was a partner, a challenge, and a gateway. And humanity, for the first time, had proven it could rise to meet such a challenge, not through brute force but through unity, trust, and ingenuity. The test of unity was complete, But the true adventure awaited, the stars themselves. After weeks of mastering the ship and proving their unity, humanity's team finally prepared to leave Earth's orbit. The alien vessel, once a crashed relic in the Nevada desert, now hummed with anticipation, its lights pulsing in quiet agreement. Captain Rylan Cale, Dr. Lyra Vance, and pilot Kalen Rios stood in the central chamber, gazing at the ship's core, which had begun projecting star maps more intricate than any human had ever seen. "This is it," Rylan said, his voice calm but resolute. "We're not just flying anymore. We're explorers. Every star, every planet, it's waiting for us." Lyra's eyes sparkled with excitement and awe. The ship isn't just transportation. It's a library, a guide, a mentor. Everything the aliens knew, it's here hidden in these systems. And now they're sharing it with us. Kalen leaned forward, gripping the control console. "And we get to decide how to use it. Think about it, the galaxy within our reach." The first revelation came as the ship stabilized in low orbit. Holographic projections illuminated the chamber, revealing thousands of star systems with data overlays showing habitable planets, resource-rich asteroids, and even potential life forms. Some worlds were clearly marked with symbols the team recognized as civilizations. Others were unlabeled, mysterious, perhaps uncharted or abandoned. Lyra stepped closer to the display. "Look at this, these are records of other civilizations. Trade routes, diplomatic markers, even records of conflicts. The aliens cataloged entire sectors of the galaxy. This ship wasn't meant to just travel, it was meant to learn and preserve knowledge." Rylan's brow furrowed. "And the creators, they're gone?" Lyra shook her head slowly. "Not necessarily. There are gaps in the records, anomalies that suggest some civilizations survived, or at least observers remain. If they notice an alien ship awake and operated by humans, we might not be alone." Kalen smirked, a hint of excitement in his tone. "We've faced worse odds than that before. Humanity adapts. We improvise. We survive." But survival required understanding. The team focused on one particularly fascinating projection, a star system teeming with planets rich in rare metals, energy nodes, and anomalies that could be harnessed for advanced propulsion. The AI highlighted these resources, suggesting methods for safely mining them and even potential colonization strategies. Varric Soren, the ship's lead engineer, whistled. "These materials, they're beyond anything we've ever handled. If we can extract and use them, we could power fleets, build colonies, practically become a galactic force." The team worked tirelessly, learning the alien methods of energy conversion, propulsion enhancement, and even shield technology. Every discovery reinforced a sobering truth: humanity had taken a gigantic leap forward. From a single crashed vessel, they now held the keys to star travel, defense, and interstellar expansion. Yet the ship also revealed dangers. Hidden in the star charts were systems marked with warnings, symbols denoting predatory civilizations and cosmic phenomena capable of destroying planets. Some were remnants of wars older than humanity itself. Others were warnings of entities whose motives could not be understood by human logic. Lyra's voice grew serious. "This ship, it doesn't just show us what we can do. It shows us the risks. Survival in the galaxy isn't just about knowledge. It's about judgment, unity, and adaptability." The aliens left this information because they knew anyone traveling the stars must be prepared. Rylan nodded gravely. "We've mastered the ship on Earth, but the real test begins among the stars. We have power, yes, but power without wisdom is dangerous." The crew spent months learning, experimenting, and exploring the ship's secrets. Kalen practiced advanced piloting, discovering maneuvers that seemed impossible with conventional physics. Lyra decoded alien archives, unlocking propulsion methods that could reduce interstellar travel from decades to mere months. Varric tested energy conversion systems, discovering ways to create near-limitless fuel from cosmic phenomena. And then came the final, most astonishing discovery: a message encoded deep within the ship's core, written in a language that initially seemed unintelligible. Lyra worked tirelessly deciphering the symbols. "It's a message," she said, her voice trembling. "From the original crew of this ship. They knew they would not survive, but they left this for anyone who might awaken their vessel. Listen, only those who survive their own flaws can navigate the stars. Adapt, unite, and endure. The galaxy is not conquered by strength, but by wisdom." Rylan's eyes narrowed. So all of this, the tests, the trials, the knowledge, it was a preparation. Not just for us but for the species that would follow. They wanted to see if we were worthy. Kalen laughed softly, half in disbelief, half in determination. Well, if surviving our own flaws is the challenge, humanity just might be the perfect candidate. We screw up spectacularly, but we learn faster than any species in history. Lyra smiled, though her mind was racing. And now we understand the real purpose of this ship. It's not just exploration. It's a pathfinder. It chooses those capable of carrying knowledge, wielding power responsibly, and surviving where others fail. We've awakened it, yes, but now it tests us. The team felt the weight of responsibility. They weren't just humans operating an alien ship. They were guardians of a legacy, entrusted with knowledge and power beyond imagination. Every decision could shape the future of humanity and, potentially, the galaxy itself. That night, as the ship rested in orbit, the desert below no longer mattered. The Earth was a launching point, a cradle from which humanity would rise. Outside, the stars beckoned, vast and mysterious. The alien vessel pulsed softly, a silent promise of knowledge, power, and challenge. Rylan turned to his team. We've learned how to survive Earth's trials. Now it's time to face the galaxy. The stars hold secrets, dangers, and opportunities, and they're ours to explore. We are ready. Kalen grinned, his eyes reflecting distant suns. Then let's go find them. Every planet, every system. Let's see what humanity can do. Lyra placed a hand on the console, watching the holographic stars. The secrets of the stars aren't just maps, they're lessons. And we've only just begun to learn. As the alien vessel hovered silently in orbit, its core glowing like a heartbeat, the crew knew one truth: the galaxy was no longer a distant dream. Humanity had the tools, the ingenuity, and the unity to claim its place among the stars. And so, with knowledge and courage as their guides, the journey into the cosmos truly began. The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly before humanity's newly awakened starship. The alien vessel, once a crashed relic on Earth, now pulsed with life, its core glowing with anticipation. Captain Rylan Kale, Dr. Lyra Vance, and pilot Kalen Rios stood together on the bridge, staring at the star-strewn void. 4 months, they had explored distant star systems, tested alien technology, and mastered the vessel's capabilities. Humanity had proven itself worthy, not just as pilots but as partners to the ship. And yet, as the AI continued to project its vast archives, a new, unsettling discovery appeared. "Captain," Lyra said, her voice tight with unease, "I'm detecting energy signatures, patterns that indicate other ships, unknown but clearly not natural. They're approaching our sector." Rylan leaned forward, analyzing the data. The readings were unlike anything humanity had encountered. The ships were sleek, predatory, and moving with precise coordination. "Do we know what they are?" he asked. Lyra shook her head. "Not exactly. But the AI's archives suggest a civilization capable of subjugating entire star systems. Their technology is advanced, far beyond Earth's current capabilities." Kalen's grin vanished. "So we've been noticed?" "Great." The tension on the bridge was palpable. Humanity had thrived on ingenuity and adaptability, but this was their first encounter with an external cosmic threat. The alien vessel, though powerful, could not fight alone. The humans aboard it had to rise to the challenge. Rylan took a deep breath. "We've survived the ship's tests. Now we face a new one. This isn't about exploration anymore, it's about survival." The alien AI responded subtly, projecting an array of tactical overlays across the bridge. Energy flows, shield integrity, propulsion vectors. All designed to give humans the tools to defend themselves. But the responsibility lay with the crew. The vessel had taught them to adapt, but it would not act without their guidance. Kalen gripped the controls. "All right, let's see if all this training was worth it. Time to put humanity's ingenuity to the test." The approaching ships became visible on long-range scans, a fleet of sleek, black vessels moving in perfect formation. Their technology shimmered with unfamiliar energy fields, weapon systems pulsing in synchronization. Humanity was outnumbered and outgunned, yet they held an advantage the alien invaders did not anticipate: human creativity and adaptability. Rylan issued orders. "Energy shields to full capacity. Prepare evasive maneuvers. Lyra, interface with the ship, show them what humans can do." Lyra nodded, her fingers dancing over the alien interface. Neuralink feedback coursed through her, connecting her mind to the vessel's intelligence. Together they created patterns of movement that the AI had never seen before, maneuvers inspired by instinct, improvisation, and sheer unpredictability. The first engagement was a trial by fire. The enemy ships fired energy bursts, slicing through space with destructive precision. The alien vessel responded with shields and gravity-based maneuvers, twisting and dodging with the elegance of a living predator. Kalen pushed the ship to its limits, weaving through enemy fire with reflexes that were a perfect blend of human instinct and alien anticipation. Rylan barked orders, coordinating the team like a maestro. Varric, adjust energy flow to propulsion course. Lyra, reinforce shields at the vectors they're targeting. Kalen, trust the ship, move with it, not against it. Against all odds, the humans and their alien vessel adapted faster than the attackers anticipated. The enemy fleet, though technologically advanced, could not predict the improvisation and ingenuity of humanity in harmony with the ship. Minutes stretched like hours. Every maneuver tested their unity, skill, and courage. The enemy unleashed volleys of destructive energy, yet the humans persisted, learning the enemy's patterns and exploiting weaknesses. Kalen grinned despite the adrenaline coursing through him. They're fast, but not creative. Humans adapt, and that's something no AI or weapon system can fully predict. Lyra's voice rang out in triumph. We're doing it. The ship, it's responding in ways even I didn't think possible. The climax of the engagement came when Rylan directed a daring tactic. Using the ship's gravity manipulation systems, they created a temporary distortion field, drawing the enemy ships into a coordinated trap. The alien fleet faltered, disoriented by maneuvers it had not anticipated. One by one, the ships disengaged, retreating into the darkness of space. Silence fell over the bridge. The threat had passed for now. But the crew understood the lesson. The galaxy was full of dangers, and their survival depended not on brute strength alone, but creativity, unity, and adaptability, the very traits that had allowed humanity to master the alien ship. Rylan exhaled, a mixture of relief and pride washing over him. This is what we were meant for. Not just to explore but to survive. Humanity has faced worse odds, and yet, we endure. Kalen leaned back, a rare smile breaking through. And we did it together. Me, Lyra, Varric, and the ship. We're ready for whatever comes next. Lyra's eyes reflected the starlight outside. The galaxy is vast, Captain. There will be more threats. But now we know something vital. Humans are unpredictable, resourceful, and capable of extraordinary feats. The ship recognized that, and now, so do we. Rylan placed a hand on the console, watching the stars stretch before them. We've faced our first external challenge. But this is only the beginning. The universe is full of civilizations, dangers, and secrets. And humanity will rise to meet them all. The alien vessel hummed softly, almost in approval. It had survived countless eons, endured cosmic journeys, and now it carried humans capable of thinking, adapting, and surviving. Together they were no longer just explorers, they were guardians, pioneers, and a force the galaxy would soon recognize. As the stars stretched endlessly before them, Rylan Kale and his team understood one immutable truth. The journey to the stars was fraught with danger, but humanity was ready. They had mastered the alien vessel, faced a fleet of unknown enemies, and survived through unity, ingenuity, and courage. The rising threat was a warning. The galaxy was vast, full of unknown adversaries, but humans had learned a powerful lesson. Where others rely on strength, humanity relied on will, creativity, and the unyielding drive to survive. And now, as the alien vessel pulsed gently in the void, humanity's place among the stars was no longer a dream, it was a reality. The alien vessel floated silently in orbit above an untouched exoplanet, its core pulsing softly like a heartbeat. The vast emptiness of space stretched in every direction, a canvas of stars and possibility. Captain Rylan Kale stood on the observation deck, flanked by Dr. Lyra Vance and pilot Kalen Rios, watching as humanity's first true interstellar journey approached a new horizon. They had faced the trials of mastering the ship, synchronized their minds to its alien intelligence, explored distant star systems, and survived their first encounter with a hostile fleet. Each step had tested their ingenuity, courage, and unity, and each step had proven that humanity was more than capable of handling the galaxy's challenges. Lyra's eyes reflected the glow of the ship's core. The AI has unlocked nearly everything. We have knowledge of star systems, habitable planets, energy sources, and technologies that could reshape civilization. Humanity isn't just exploring anymore, we're prepared to build, to expand, to thrive. Kalen's grin was wide, a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. We've come a long way from that desert crash. Now we can go anywhere. Do anything. Humanity finally has the tools to reach the stars. Rylan nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. Tools alone aren't enough. We've learned the importance of unity, ingenuity, and adaptability. The galaxy is vast, and there will be challenges we can't even imagine. But we are ready, not just to survive but to rise. The alien ship pulsed brighter, projecting a new holographic display. Star systems previously unseen blinked into view, along with potential colonies and strategic resources. One planet, marked with symbols denoting perfect habitability and energy reserves, caught Lyra's attention. "This could be our first true colony," she said, awe in her voice. "A place to expand, experiment, and prepare for the galaxy beyond." The AI suggests it's ideal for long-term habitation. Minimal risks, maximum potential. Rylan turned to the team. "Then we make it our first step. Not just exploration but creation. Humanity will build its presence in the stars and will do it wisely." As they plotted their course, the alien ship projected a vision far larger than their immediate goals. Entire fleets, capable of interstellar travel, could be constructed. Habitats and colonies could be established on planets, moons, and even asteroids. Systems once unreachable were now mapped, their resources analyzed and cataloged. The ship's AI seemed to understand that its passengers were no longer novices. They were pioneers ready to claim their place among the stars. Kalen's voice broke the silence. "So this is what it feels like, to be humanity at its best. Not trapped on Earth, not limited by fear or scarcity, but powerful, adaptable, and free." Lyra smiled. "We've always had the potential, Kalen. The difference now is that we've proven it, not just to ourselves but to the universe. We're no longer small, no longer bound by a single planet. Humanity's time has begun." The first colony mission began. The alien vessel guided them to the exoplanet, demonstrating orbital insertions, resource extraction points, and environmental controls. The team landed safely, establishing the first human settlement beyond the solar system. Each step was a testament to what humanity could achieve when courage, ingenuity, and unity were combined. Word of their success reached Earth. Humanity, once confined to a single blue planet, now had the means to explore, expand, and eventually dominate the stars. Nations, once divided, began to cooperate in the face of new possibilities. Humanity's destiny was no longer written by circumstance, it was shaped by its own hands. But the alien vessel had one final gift. A message encoded in its core, a culmination of centuries of alien knowledge and experience. Lyra deciphered it carefully. "To those who awaken us, the universe is vast, full of wonders and dangers alike. Only those who endure their flaws, adapt to the unknown, and unite in purpose may claim their place among the stars. Knowledge is a tool. Wisdom is a shield. Courage is the path. Use these gifts wisely and humanity will endure." Rylan's eyes met Kalen's and Lyra's. This was never just a ship. It was a test, a guide, and a promise. And we've met it. Humanity has risen not because the stars were easy to reach, but because we refused to be limited. The alien vessel, now fully integrated with human ingenuity, pulsed as if in approval. It was no longer just a tool, it was a partner, a mentor, and a symbol of what humanity could achieve. Months turned into years. Humanity expanded into new star systems, using the knowledge of the alien ship to establish colonies, trade routes, and fleets capable of defending against threats yet unknown. Each achievement reinforced the core lesson. Survival and dominance in the galaxy depended not on strength alone, but on adaptability, creativity, and unity. The crew who had first awoken the alien vessel became legends. Rylan Kale, Lyra Vance, and Kalen Rios were remembered not just as explorers, but as pioneers who proved that humanity could rise to the challenge of the stars. Their names echoed across colonies, inscribed in histories and taught to generations born among the stars. And on the bridge of the alien vessel, which now served as humanity's flagship, the trio watched as new worlds passed beneath them. Stars glimmered with potential, nebulae painted the cosmos with color, and distant civilizations waited, some curious, some wary, some hostile. Rylan smiled, a quiet confidence settling over him. "We've done it. Humanity is no longer earthbound. We've survived our trials, proven our worth, and claimed our place among the stars. The universe is vast, but we are ready." Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. "The stars will challenge us, but we've learned what it means to be human. We don't just endure, we adapt, create, and thrive." Kalen leaned back, eyes scanning the endless void. "And we'll keep doing it. One star, one system, one planet at a time. Humanity's dawn isn't just today, it's forever." As the alien vessel glided through the cosmos, its core glowing steadily, humanity's journey continued. The lessons of Earth, their ingenuity, courage, and unity, had prepared them not just to survive, but to shape the galaxy in their image. From a crashed alien ship in the Nevada desert to the stars themselves, humanity had risen. And the universe would never forget. The dawn of humanity among the stars had arrived.